Rangzum Kasa, Sube, Kasa, Sujin Yamlenda, and Jimbi Yamlenda, Sujin Yamle, and all the Niki, and Korshiro, the Nenza, that the Nala, the Chasa, the Chige, Dunga Taji, Tamje Pang, and Yuan Tamje Seje, and Sanyo Komato, what is that? Koala Jogo, Dunga, and the Moya, the Dunga, that's Dunga Pangura, Dunga Meva Soyala, Dunga Yu, Leda, Yomoba, the Kimeva Sugore, this is Meva Sovala, and then Yamlin, Gom Yamlin Chenmato, Meva Sugo Marwa, Dine Zangazu, and Dine Zangazu Kunola Tambocorone, and Dambodan, Yakonjosuma, just to be Jamdro some diada, Dine Dichelian. Koa de la Nimbo Midu, Jason Koa de la Tawu, Sambigeda, Koa Tardu, Sambang Geada. And the Niggy Koa Taya dea, and the Rang Jibumayan by Shan Simjan, Ne, Dunga de Dra, Dunga Guled and Yomo de la Tarje, Ne, Tabuko Tobu, Sambig, some Dane, Simjan Amjela Jambada, Nishicom. They are the Simjan Tamje, their water temper Dunga Taja, Javadi, and then Gachigi in Sage, so Sugiane, or the Hasanam Dasam Diana. It is a Simjan to one the Jala, Simjan the Jela, Tursum, Comsum, Yamlin Jeju Jen, no one that Jahore. Deciding eat Jigin Ledu, and Consulia, Tursum Comsum Jejura, Tursum Comsum Jejubala, so Sugi Tursum Comsum Yamlin Yo, which go about, so Machina, Consul Lavia Yomarvada. Is that the Nigi, so Sugi Layala, and Consul Rochevala, Consul Yumo Sevala, Tesson Jeju, Dijabala, Sosogi, Consul Laviala, non Sosolia, Yamle Yaskure, Sisan Sosu Tarshimachkure, Dinza, Nisimjan Tamji, Dunga Jad and Digi to be a Chido, and some Jatam San Yuko Tobashi, Sibi, and the Jaju Sim Kunyanarwa. Sisada Jaju Sim Yukunia Lanchi, Yamlin Jedi, and the Gararesene, and the Yama, Sangi, Sangi, and Chazan, and the Gorozo. Janshu Simgi, Shingi Dundala, Shendugi Chudo, Hasamgi Jambi, Janshu Simgi, Dini Yamlin Garacheva, Jimba the Chudin Pashu Yamna Jerwa, or Dini Yamlin in the crowds of Sangi Bare, that the Janshu Simbanamja, Dini Yamlin Jigore, Dins Gay there, Simjat Sanyuko Toba G, Janshu Simgi, Janshu Simgi, Jimba the Chudin Pashu Yamna G, Saji, or Dushin and Anduge. Some Daji, some Danyam Chitari, Dini and Zanda, Kasang and Dugian, Jimmy Yamla Jela, and then Kuno Janjus Simbata, Jimba said, more than the share, and then Surim said it in the Jesse Kasantinico Shura.
Good morning. So yesterday we looked at the first two of the 6 perfections, those of generosity and ethical conduct. And we mentioned then the way to include this in one's meditation. So just to recap this morning, starting out by the meditation that I advise you to do every day, and whilst mentioning this, generate these minds within yourself briefly. So the first of the 5 steps of the meditation that I advise is that you generate a mind that is both powerful and joyous. And then this is done through going for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, and one's teacher, seeing that through generating the teachings that they propound within one's own continuum, one will attain true protection from suffering. And conjoined with this, one can reflect on the preciousness of this opportunity that we have attained. And having generated then a powerful and joyous mind, one moves on to the second step of the meditation, which is has the purpose of generating the mind that wants to definitely emerge from the suffering realms of cyclic existence. And this is done through reflecting or meditating on how samsara is pervaded by suffering, how samsaric experiences are in the nature of suffering, and that these have as a cause the various afflicted minds that have led to the accumulation of contaminated karma. And the root cause of all of this is our very own mind, the ignorance of self-grasping. And in this way we give rise to the wish to be attained liberation from these states of suffering. So that's the second step. And then we, having given rise to this mind, we move to the third step, which starts with the recognition that this instinctive yearning that we have to experience only happiness and to be completely freed from even a moment of suffering or frustration or misery, this is something that is shared by each and every sentient being. And therefore, on this deep level, there really is no difference between myself and others. And therefore, it would be inappropriate just to strive for my own happiness whilst forgetting others. And then we take this understanding, we develop it further, generating the minds of love. May all beings experience only happiness. And the mind of compassion, may all beings be freed from suffering. We develop this ever further so that the wish arises within us that we take responsibility for the welfare of others. That we generate the mind that understands that for others to experience happiness, they have to accumulate the causes of happiness. And these come from practices such as ethics, generosity, patience, and so forth. And to be freed from suffering, the fulfillment of a mind of compassion, this requires sentient beings to eliminate the causes of suffering, the afflicted minds. And this comes through reflecting on reality. So here we give rise to these minds of love and compassion that we have given rise to. They become powerful to the point where we take responsibility for leading others to the attainment of their own enlightenment. And this then is the altruistic attitude of universal responsibility. Having generated that then, we are then just one step away from the generation of bodhicitta itself, which is where we further commit to, in order to fulfill this responsibility that we have now willingly taken on, I have to become the most skilled of guides. Because it's only through achieving Buddhahood myself that I can perfectly lead each and every sentient being to their own individual enlightenment. So here we generate the mind of bodhicitta. And then this then is the third step in the meditation, the generation of bodhicitta. And at this point, we can include what we've been looking at in some detail, that in order for me to have been able to cultivate this mind of bodhicitta, I've needed to hear a lot of teachings, reflect on these, and eventually come to meditate on these. For me to be able to progress, I need to continue to make endeavor in these activities. For others to spiritually progress, they too need to hear many teachings, reflect on those teachings skillfully, and come to be able to meditate on those. In order to be able to do that, they, like me, require a qualified spiritual teacher. And in order for me to become such a mentor, such a guide to others, I need to endeavor in hearing, reflecting, and meditating, cultivating and perfecting the minds of the Buddha Dharma within myself. So with this ever stronger motivation, we come to the fourth step of the meditation. And that is the reflection on the practices that bodhisattvas engage in, the 6 perfections. The very practices that all bodhisattvas in the world are engaging in, and all Buddhas, such as Buddha Shakyamuni, engaged in. And here we can engage in the reflections that we looked at yesterday of generosity and ethical conduct within the context of the 6 perfections. And then lastly, the 5th step would be that of making aspirational prayers and dedication.
탈친고래 탈친야래 가자데 가리레스네 샤나데레스 제산 샤나데 바좀야래 아주 동위 셈바 바신래 동기스 동위 셈바 바 삼야네 당 드는 동어 셈바 땅네 드니게 냠네 지야당 다 드니게 동위 삼바 땅지 드니야 아니 신샤리야 카이가 아주 의의 토네 아니 로제바 진비 냠네 사징기 아니 베네 진바 땅지는 진비기 现来判断主要，但上星期金巴大年呢，现来判断主呢，第2地现来现来去你们解决啊，当那可能是呢金边你们解决注重送学，第那个去些钱去个都真的去个金巴大钱的金边你们的结果来这些是吧？第呢， 어두르와 추림 냠내 세야디 저기다 게티버 사야디 차상 가서는 류가 26권에 다 나로를 삼로들라 아니 나주 현래 뉘베 삼바다 되니게 되샤 공정 아제 기용도 아니 현래 뉘바신 류가 있으면 현 뉘바지 디버 사야 되는 시라 사이도 봐 디네 인자디 마 송고거래 디소야들 추림 제사 추림 사야디 류가 26권 현래 뉘바 지메 sembe 삼로디 추림제 제사 디 가르 송고서는 현래 뉘베 삼바 아니 공정 사지 현래 뉘바 제다 녀모제 현래 뉘바 저 구마구야 아이고네 규제 차상 송고로 와진데 송야디 류가 26권 디바디게 송야디 제사 송야게 셈바디 가르스는 신뢰바 지메 sembe 삼로디 아니 송야데 디니게 삼로디까지 숙처 다위네 인공반에 아니 현래야 아니 지게 뇌비게 삼바디 기기 말해 삼베 현래 뇌비 삼바마게는 아주 지게 현래 뇌비 자와 지기 말해 마제는 아주 디바사기 말해서 어쩌려냐면 제가 안디네 거시 가산디 거시 차세.
And then, as was mentioned yesterday, just to recap here, the way then to practice generosity, the way to, or literally the way to gain experience of generosity, this is to having generated the mind, that in order to become enlightened, in order to become a being that is perfect, I need to practice I need to develop the various practices to a state of perfection. In order to do that, in order to become a perfect Buddha, I need to overcome a wide variety of obstacles, primarily the various manifestations of the self-cherishing mind, minds of selfishness, such as the mind of miserliness. So how to overcome this mind of miserliness is to meditate on generosity. Having generated compassion for all sentient beings, wanting all sentient beings to be freed from suffering, and generates the strong and sincere wish to help them in any way that one can, within the accordance with one's abilities, as well as giving rise to the aspiration to through ever increasing one's abilities, to be able to help others ever more. And then this can be expressed through material generosity, generating the aspiration that whatever I have, due to having it been attained due to the kindness of others, amongst the multitude of causes, there is the kindness of others, may I utilize whatever I have in abundance to bring benefit to others. And may I not only fulfill their material needs, but may I go beyond the temporary cessation of suffering, but help them in the most meaningful ways. And that is to become a skilled guide and to train them in the Buddha Dharma, train them in how to cultivate the minds of the Buddha Dharma within themselves. So this is how we engage in the training of generosity. And we also looked at that of ethical conduct. So whilst generosity is the mind wanting to help, the mind wanting to give, ethics is the mind wanting to not harm, the mind committing to refrain from harm. The way we generally bring harm to others is either through physical action or through our way of verbally communicating. And both of these doors of conduct come from a motivating mind. So the way to transform our physical and verbal behavior is through transforming our mind. So living an ethical life, developing an ethical outlook, means subduing our mind, training our mind, pacifying our afflicted minds, such as anger, attachment, pride, that lead to physical acts of harm to others, verbal acts of harm towards others. So therefore, training our mind, subduing our mind, disciplining our mind, this is the training of ethical conduct. And the stronger we develop this mind, the stronger the wish that we cultivate not to bring harm to others, no matter what circumstance we find ourselves in. The stronger we develop this mind, the stronger the mind of ethics, the stronger or the ever more powerful virtue that we create. And likewise, the stronger the wish that we cultivate to be of benefit to others, to give to others, the stronger that wish, the more virtue we create through that practice of generosity.
미션다게 소소를 내가 지나는 가르쳐 버렸어야지. 소소게 지금에 송도의 미션다게 소소를 내가 제바이나 안는 내가 제 용으로 와다가서 소소군에 지금에 상반에 미션다게 소녀가 지고 그래. 아야 소소게 양 가상 진비 냠는 것이도 사진기 지바 소소 동에 선바찬 샹랴 로제 펜버주야다. 안에 샹랴 최시 펜버주야 갑라 내 강아 몽골리기로 왔어. 진짜 강아 내가 가르쳐 버렸어. 제가 디니 레나 같이 올라가도 제가 수비님 내 저거 해서 되나 근데 샹기 소스를 내가 제가나 대라 서버 공부 그래서 랑게 샹리에 판도 주기 갑라 아니 샹리 펜비 자와 주야다 데니기 자와 주에서 강아 쳐야다 소수기 아니 동에 셈바 자죠 공 개비 갑라야 소소 강아 쳐야네 난 제수에 서버 공부 그래서 제가 디니 산 디링 하면 좀 야 수비님 거 뭐람 야고용화 쇼스 뭐람 게 뭐람 게다 내 수비님은 가르쳐서 디걸 봐셔야지.
When engaging in the ethical conduct, cultivating this mind that commits to not bringing harm to others through our way of acting, through our way of speaking, then this is the training of ethics, developing this mind, this subdued mind that refrains from any activity that would bring harm to others. Then when we're out in the world, engaging in our daily activities, treating others with gentleness and with care and with wisdom, we certainly will meet many people who don't share the same outlook, who relate to us in a way that is perhaps aggressive, or is a way that is unwanted, or a way that is perhaps abusive, either their way of speaking or their way of acting. So how then to deal with people who don't share our outlook and who do appear to be treating us in an unwanted manner, in an abusive manner? Well, secondly, when engaging the cultivation of the mind of generosity, this wish to give, when we are then acting under the influence of this mind, and we're trying to bring benefit into the lives of others by either materially helping them or physically helping them, or through our advice or teaching the Dharma, trying to help them, then we will experience problems at that time, either problems directly from people or from our own way of thinking. So when we engage in the practices, the physical engagement, the verbal expression are the practices of ethics and generosity, how then should one deal with the difficulties that we will encounter? This then brings us to the third prayer, that relating to the practice of patience. And the practice of patience is required when we're experiencing problems in our interactions with others, from how they respond to us. It comes from when we are trying to be of benefit to others, we are trying to help others, and we experience problems. So how to deal with those problems when trying to be of benefit? And then also, in terms of when we are cultivating the minds of the Buddha Dharma, for example, through receiving teachings or through meditating, then we experience problems and obstacles. So how we are to respond to this, this is how we express the practice of patience. And now we come to a prayer relating to this practice.
Dala Deso Tsangju Simji Nam Tongam Tusum Yula Tempice, Control Judge, Larian Dedagi, Indian Jujin Suba Commercial Osage.
And the 19th verse, when I see, hear, or think of those who struck, beat, or maligned me, may I be without anger, repeatedly speaking of their virtues, and meditate upon patience.
That is what Dala Deso Tsangju Simji Nam. 다 소소야 아니지 냐다 다야다 셴유녀가 소소기다 니도 다야라 소바다 근데 지게 셴이 소소야 균죄지 그 야고치미도 쇠케미 야고미도 세야다 교구마 구성을 세야다 교가 고화 당성을 세야다 데니기 근데 지금 균 소소래 균죄가 있나 네 달라 대소 창주 셈전 디속에서 데니기 셴이 소소야 냐다 다야라 소바다 안 소소리아 시시에 다야라 소바다 아니 결혼기 야고 지금 결혼 균 빼놓고 결혼 뒤지고서 균제 먹으라지 소소 균제 제야라서 뭐 되네 좀 봐이나 나 알아서 갈아서 감사 될이야 콘라인으로 하다면서 수 얘다 다 시시에 다 직도셔라는 감사 파래지 라야다 되니게 람사 주야다 파래 측도 라야다但是全部呢怕了也得当没全部呢怕了就怕就看着怕了呀但底下老毛头问的什么囊了呀那就读家修是没的读家修的什么是白考了呀跟读家修呢是别什么大的你用过往这个就是第三个恐怕头吧的但没想到个缺养护民族缺长不起个民族就让了捐点的就让别做错误了一下就让别什么上坡民族说的那个捐捐说是呀的那捐捐吧呢让咱们上学嘛然后看那个了缺开的是咱们上的看别家有个做了的那现在的那同样的但这两学不公过的晓得其实这了打了点说唱这心情的那个心情的同样的这了呀按让给通啊就是为了打了点说唱这心情呢的那个捐的那个心同样的你把这了还说是呢按通啊特什一了真不这记得的那个通啊的特把的的那个我是土巴了这个看拉是个的的那个他的那个捐钱也忙着了的那就通样的米的通样的的米的都家了俺也捐钱休息的因为米的俺了个好当米的俺也打当上那么上俺就看那个了那样子这个米马上被呢他们特的米的那都家休了当俺了也嘛的那块的那捐钱去上个俺了也嘛也打当上个俺了也嘛谢当上是俺那么上随不公嘛多去看能够的话当然是了
So, looking at what for us is the second line. So this, when we recall these incidences to mind, when others have physically struck us or beaten us, or when they have maligned us in a variety of ways, perhaps they have falsely accused us of something, or maybe they're criticizing for something that we have actually done, pointing out our faults. So how do we tend to respond in these cases? So if someone does physically harm us, well, one thing we can be pretty certain of, our mind is going to get upset. And we are quite possibly going to respond in kind to them. Or if someone criticizes us, whether they're falsely accusing us or if they're pointing out our faults, then how do we respond? Again, almost certainly, our mind gives rise to pride and to anger, and we most probably will respond verbally in a similar way, respond in kind. And even in situations where we do refrain from responding in kind, we don't physically hit the person back or point out their faults to them, even in those circumstances where our physical and verbal activity is restrained, our mind in those cases is almost certainly still going to be disturbed. So here then in the fourth line, it mentions that in these circumstances, we need to be practicing patience. And moreover, the times that we practice patience are not, that the times that we need to practice patience are not just in the moment when we are receiving abuse from others, physical or verbal abuse from others, but it's also when we are with someone and we're talking about someone who has acted towards us in an unwanted way. Or when we are on our own and we're thinking about someone who has acted towards us in an unwanted way. And that is expressed in the first line, when I see, hear, or think of those who struck, beat, or maligned me.
근데 야가 중으로 누가 중으로 람나 야가 누가 요 말이지 소소까지 되는 제비는 파래 파쇼를 받는 비유된 코로나 디스크션은 파쇼에 되는 슈체체로 너 소소의 슈체 당sam질이 안 되는 징리다 슈리다다 즉 수톱나야 수리다 냥아요 봐 아니 안 되는게 징리 마다 왜네 소소기다 무슨 마토 왜네 미디기 고연님마 소소의 균제 제가나 네 소소 뇌비견의 암조 고여도 미디도 두자여 배 두자여서 삼다지는 코로나지 되는 소소 심마이기 차야다 되는게 용물이에요 제가 되는 제나 파되는 코로나와나 아니 소소를 마이기 봐줘야다 아니 동아체마도 판독하여 말이지 안 되는 용도 가려다는 가르치고를 람나 델이야 소수 무스 미션다게 니기 견제바다 소소야 되니기 제반은 소수기 델이 세보고 그래지 근데 되니기 미디게 퇴양되네 세보고 호르마나 세보고 그래 세보고 세디 가르라나 되니기 퇴도 파 콩로 심 마주바지 심 마주바 파 네바지기 선비그 삼바도 마지바지 심 마주 심 추어도 추럽도 파래 견제제 삼는 기구로 파래 견제제야다 파래 징이하다 되니기 삼는 기구 되니 콩르리고로 와가지고 콩르리고로 와 진짜 되니자 되니기 레온데 심 마주바지 파 흥자지 되제 파 네바기에 삼는데 기 마지바지 기 마주바지 샤고 그래서 되니기 기 마주바지 수대바들라 네 세바하서 세바 공부하서 디삼로디 공부해서.
If we think about how, if we were to respond in kind, would this be beneficial or not? So if someone physically abuses us and we decide to beat them back, so does that make the situation better? Most probably it's going to make the situation worse. Well, likewise, if someone speaks to us in a verbally abusive manner, criticizes us or falsely accuses us, if we respond in kind, pointing out their faults, is that going to improve the situation or not? Probably make it worse. But what is certain is that if one were to respond in kind in either instance, one's mind would not be a mind of patience, one's mind would be unhappy and disturbed. So that is certain. Whether there's some benefits in criticizing or beating someone back, almost certainly not. But what is more certain is to do with the mind. One's own peace of mind is destroyed. Likewise, if we're with friends or companions, associates, and we're talking about someone who has harmed us in the past or spoken badly about us or our group, and we agree with them and agree with all the faults of this other person and how bad they are, and join in the criticism of this person, what benefit comes from that? And what is certainly certain is that, again, our own peace of mind is lost. So rather, when we are in the presence of harm, of someone who's harming us, either physically or verbally, or if we're on our own or with companions, we need to be practicing patience, keeping our mind undisturbed, calm, and spacious. Because if we don't, if our mind is non-patient, if it becomes disturbed, then minds of the class of aggression, the class of harm arise, wanting retribution, wanting the comeuppance of that person to be experienced. And that kind of attitude is contradictory to the trainings we've done previously in terms of ethics, of the mind of not wanting to harm, as well as the mind of generosity, of wanting to benefit. So therefore, not going in a contrary direction to our previous trainings, we need to rather practice the mind of patience.
Control tracing, learning data, Indian teaching, super commercial song. Design the Niki Novatia that in Lady Power Corner Malamachi. That Laria Della, Indian Joe, Beya Shasa, Indian Joe. Carson, Indian Joe said the current social Nobody Duja Lavine, Coronia, Indi, the Coron Corner Sachi, Nalea, Coron Ginch 20 like what in Jess, and Coron Mione, Nalia didn't shape in there, Coron Indian. Korongi Pamata, Punjata, Sosugi, Drawata, the Sulia Zewa Zewata, Jambata, Zewa, also the Pulia, Jam Georgia, Jambata, Zewa, Yodas, Corona, and then the Yodas, in a Negapalia to share the Mato, Corona, and then Meva Mades, Corona Jambata, Zewa, Yoda, Corongida, Buda, Korongi, Pamata, the Coron Dropodil, Korongi Pando Chigores, Pembi, Jawa to go the Corona, and then Yoda Yapuri, some Delia, and 지게 세보공부를 해서 세보공부 맞에 가서 코로 맞아 내려 연대섬 다시 코로 연대 주의제 배야부래 삼지 연대주 안에 두시네 안에 쇠보고 오래지래.
The third and fourth line, may I be without anger, repeatedly speaking of their virtues and meditate upon patience. So here the aspiration that is being expressed, whether one is within the company of someone who's acting in a harmful and an abusive manner towards one, or whether one is in the company of a companion who's speaking about someone who has harmed oneself or those that you are close to, or whether one is on one's own and recalling such events, may I be without anger, but repeatedly speak of their virtues. And repeatedly speaking of their virtues is the practice of patience. The practice of patience here. So why in these circumstances should we repeatedly speak of their virtues? Well, in these situations, again, whether we're with someone or we're hearing about someone or thinking about someone or a situation, when we're thinking of their faulty behavior, their harmful behavior, then we are forgetting, then that harmful behavior that we're seeing is coloring entirely how we perceive this person. We are perceiving this person entirely through this lens of this harmful behavior. That is how we are seeing them as. We are seeing them as a harmful person doing harm, or a harmful situation that is bringing harm. We are completely losing perspective because of the dominance of this mind of how we're seeing them. And this then means that we have completely lost perspective of this person and their varied aspects to their personality. They are not pervaded solely by this kind of harmful way of thinking, harmful behavior. At that time, sure, anger was dominated. But this is not the entire definition of this person. They have many other aspects to their personality, many of which are praiseworthy, many of which are worthy of emulating, such as perhaps how they care for their loved ones, how they care for their children, their partner, their pets, etc. They will have many other qualities that if we step back for a moment, we can be aware of. Either we have perceived or we can impute that they will have these. And if we speak of their virtues, this will help bring a perspective to this person and see them in a more nuanced and balanced way. So this is the practice of patience.
이렇게随便 냠는 제고래 시행도 다딘 삼다한테 국가시우도 대냐가 여러와다 소설 네버기비 소설미니다 다다 시시다다 되는 파직 수업 공부를 해야 다 근데 수업 공부해야 되는 콜이야 균주의 맛이 잡려야 되는 연인 주어는 너를 두 삼사로
When one hears these teachings on patience, then it's quite possible some doubts will arise in one's mind, and moreover, if one practices in this way in the world, it's quite possible others will criticize us for being patient in the face of adversity, being patient when others speak to one in an abusive manner or act towards one, physically act towards one in an abusive manner. It's very possible that people will criticize us for doing this, even and more so, we may well have doubts ourselves about this practice.
술야 안에 직니다 다야다 되는지 팔에 갑자기 잡죠 코로나 팔에 코로나제 니다 증거이나 아주 송급제 투부에 삼아야 돼 등으로와 아니 아주 수규제지도 팔에 코로나제 형을 되는데 아주제 결혼되는 지기도 와서 파규제지 디제베네 아주 송급제 투부에 삼빙 아주 삼로나라 니용고로와 디용하지 아주기 지금 바 코로나에 연대로 통고로 와다 현기 뉴바지야다 현기 강아지야 양아도 코로나지 파캅도 줘봐나 강아지 세유 투고요 바다 안 된다도 투고요 바디 지상 콩로디 아니 되는게 라이디 고여로지 맞아 고여로 있음다로 와 고여로 지레 샤사데 섬고로 와한지
So here the doubt that may well arise in the practitioner's mind, and certainly would in the world, is that of the appropriateness of this practice in the face of adversity. So when others are speaking to us in an abusive manner, falsely accusing us or criticizing us or physically harming us, then doubt may well arise about the appropriateness of the practice of patience. Because the natural response, and certainly what is accepted as acceptable behavior in the world, is to protect ourselves, to defend ourselves. And through this process of protecting or defending ourselves from physical or verbal onslaught, it is seen as acceptable in the world to do so through anger. Anger is what gives us strength, it's what gives us courage. And it is a mind striving to protect what we hold dear that then responds in a way that the world would consider appropriate.
And then is a control park captive job by the negative the jigging on the capsara city in a pool and on the new goal. It is on the control line doing on the Shinelia, Shell, never doing a usual and never chick me, if you to him Yamlin Chedi, to him Tagaru or Wakasan, Shell and never chicken me, the new somebody get you me and some Suedi, some to go, Maras and never somebody your corner park captive job. Just a Surum Soyadi, the Gadu, just a dinner. Negabla, Cabaret, and Digi, some of the control to shoot cherry, Chimbada, the nation and Gencharoji, and DBT wood, Negabla, the Kanadi, Mahon Betiwe, DBT wood, and the Dunga Yagiti with Yungurua.
But from the perspective of the Buddha Dharma, which is striving for the attainment of the greatest of goals, responding in such a manner, under the influence of such a mind that is wanting to protect what oneself holds dear, this mind conjoined with anger, perhaps other afflictions such as pride, responding under the influence of those minds will bring harm. Certainly, in the short term, benefit may come. One may overpower one's enemies, one may defeat one's accusers, and in this way, one thinks, I've won that encounter. But beyond some temporary benefit like that, in the long term, we've acted against, or in a contrary manner, to our training of ethics. So remembering again, with ethics, it's this mind of not wanting to bring harm. Patience is a mind that stays subdued, that stays undisturbed in the face of adversity. So when we act in a way that is disturbed, full of anger, full of pride, this, whilst maybe bringing temporary benefit, harms us in the long term because it's contrary to ethics.
And then I just go congress Kaya Malaji, so Gana, Jores and Yonkishos, all this one go mare. That's about comes the color was in Shenki, Gunji, Social and Yada, and you said Chion to Kabla, so she gets some machubache, Pala Cornamalabache, and Cornamalabache, and I to call some at the Corona, Ninja some year, call it Ninja some data. The Pa Machubache at the call Jinamachubache, and then I to get the Niki. Tunyeda Daligina, Delia Sungupche, Ganeshi Udu, and the Payan Train to the Yanosoki, Pa Juche, and the Jisha, Gansina Tubija, or Dali. In there, Tubsija, Nida Dangalene, Laban, Jun, the Shawaja, Yana to Shaja, Pa di Gayada, Yana Pa Joyada, the need Jet Tubjiorwada. Chesa, Ditch Jibi Kablan, the Mingarsi wasn't, and the Corona Jet to Shigorwa. Chesa Della. Corner Malamache, Simpa, Social Village, Pa, Nevi, some Matanache, these two about and Delia soon Tusheti, Garcina Chibures, or Denile, and then Chiche, and the Aji Kumarashi, Sosuki Kuma Kumena, Kuma Kuson, Kunja Chevena, Delia Anjuki, Sepocum, Delia, Pa Corner Malamache, and Pa Sim Machuba, Sim Village, Sim Machubache, and 콜 니비 삼바선 마당하지 아니 같이 오래라나 다 소수기 닝제 당한 말메나코 말이야 구마도지 코로나 디버사고 오래 선배기 닝제 삼다야다 아니 델리아 니니게 삼리 토네 아니 소수기다 닝제 당이 거의 구마레스는 게데 구마 많이 비김제 시제 장마 마셔 봐이나 아니 거의 말이야 구마도 거 캡사라야 잔다 제마 잔다래 니니지 제지 캡사로 거기네 거 잘라쇼래 삼제 니네자 닝제 거 디보쇼 사사야 삼제 니네 저기 장부이 토네 덴비 남기 토네 그 구마 많이 비김제다 시제 거 가르쳐거나 직 팀도 제거나 가르쳐거나 제제 장모수야 디 제고래서 간실에 파 순유베기에 당 소소균지 제발에 파 렌로야디 간슬로그를 남나 파 코로나지 렌료요 말해지 그래라 코로 말아지随便 삼다 콜이야 잠 니지에 삼다 야 콜로 콘라시 코로 녀모베 샤원 소샤 니지에 삼다지 아니 코로 아 저기디 괜세야다 특시야다 매바 디제디 지제고래 장무장샤도네 제고래서 디순고를 마다 세보금세데 남자 용장에 기를 순고 마다
Let's now talk a little bit about what this practice of patience is, because it's important that this is clearly understood. Otherwise, the practice, if misunderstood, would seem ridiculous. So, because how a patience may be misunderstood, that is, when others harm us, we should just take this. We should just accept what is being physically done to us or verbally said to us. This may be the practice of patience. It also may not be the practice of patience. The practice of patience doesn't necessarily mean being passive. It most probably doesn't mean being passive. So the Buddha Dharma is about developing one's minds to the state of perfection, to become a Buddha. The practices of the Buddha Dharma all lead to this goal. And the practice of patience is also a practice leading to the perfected state of Buddhahood. So patience is referring to the mental attitude, the mind. It is a mind, it's a mental attitude. So whether one is practicing patience or not, doesn't refer to one's physical response to a difficult circumstance. It doesn't refer to one's verbal response. It is explicitly about one's mind. So therefore, if one responds physically or not, verbally or not, one may or may not be practicing patience, because whether one is depends on the mental attitude. So to explain this then through actual examples, let's say someone is physically abusing one's experiencing physical harm. Then, if anger arises, if pride arises, then whatever one's response is separated from patience. It's not a practice of patience. So whether one just cowers and takes the physical beating, or whether one restrains the other person, or whether one beats them back, it's not the practice of patience. Whatever one does, because the mind is angry. If one's mind remains undisturbed, if the mind remains undisturbed despite someone beating one, then one has the mental space to generate compassion for this person, to respond with compassion, with kindness and wisdom. And the response may be cowering away, it may be restraining them, it may be even physically directly responding to them. But the mind is gentle, it's compassionate, there's wisdom present. Then that's a practice of patience. The behavior is not necessarily changing. The mind is different. And due to the mind being different, one can respond in a more skillful way, a manner that is appropriate to the circumstance. And it's similarly a verbal situation. So let's say someone falsely accuses us of something. They say, "You are a thief. You stole that item." And if one thinks that the practice of patience means saying nothing, then this person may take this as affirmation, and their misunderstanding is strengthened, and they go around telling many people, "Beware of him. He's a thief, And they may even go to the police and say, I know who the criminal is. It's him. And then you end up in some big trouble. So that certainly is not skillful behavior. So the practice of patience, again, is the same. When someone speaks to one in an unwanted manner, whether they're falsely accusing one or they're pointing out one's faults, criticizing one, if pride and anger arises, no matter what response one makes, one is not practicing patience. Even if one is silent or if one apologizes, if one's mind is disturbed through the afflictions, one's not practicing patience. But if one has become skilled in patience, one's mind will stay undisturbed. One will be aware that this person is acting in this way due to their own afflictions. They are suffering right now, and this mother sentient being before one is accumulating negative karma. So through that presence of this mind of patience, compassion arises, and one can respond in a skillful way, in that our afflictions are not suppressing our wisdom. And the skillful way then may be to stay silent in that moment, may be to actually explain the situation, or may be to later explain the situation. But through the presence of patience, one has the opportunity to respond in a way that is skillful. So hopefully then through this explanation it's made it clear that patience is a mind, and it is not the response to a situation, but it's the mind that leads to the response of that situation. In the world, there's a prescribed way of responding to physical abuse and verbal abuse. And we have strong habituation to responding in this way. So merely hearing a teaching or engaging in a meditation session on this topic is going to do very little to change this strong habituation. The only way to change any strong habituation is to develop a new habituation of a contrary way of thinking. And in this way, through developing habituation to the virtuous way of thinking, of patience, then our habitual way of acting in a non-patient way, this will be proportionately reduced. So the way to meditate on patience is first we recall the faults of anger. We recall the faults of responding through pride and anger, and how this will destroy our training in ethics and our altruistic intention to be of benefit. But we think about the strengthening of our own negative minds and the negative karma this accumulates and the harm it brings to others. We give rise to a clear understanding of the faults of non-patience and the benefits of patience. Then we engage in our meditation, we engage in role play. We recall past situations of how we responded inappropriately, and we repeat that situation of when someone when someone acted or spoke to us in a particular way. So if that were to happen now, what would be a more skillful way to think? how should I rather think that would prevent afflictions from arising, such as being aware that this person is acting in this way because they are under the influence of delusions. They think they're achieving happiness, but actually, due to their own afflictions that are dominant, they are accumulating causes for future suffering. And then, when we're training here in meditation, compassion will arise for this person at that past time. And we do so repeatedly, recalling the many situations we have when we received unwanted behavior from others, physical, verbal behavior. And then we can also think about future experiences that we are likely to have, or future encounters we are likely to have, in particular with specific people that we know. When we meet them, we may well have unwanted communication. And then we train our mind. So when I meet this person that I have a difficult relationship with, and if they speak in the way that they usually do towards me, how is the skillful way to respond? And we role play this again and again, developing this new habitual way of thinking, strengthening it. Then, out of meditation, going about our day, when we meet these situations, and specifically the people that we've been training with regard to, immediately the mind of mindfulness or recollection will recall what we've been training, and we'll see this person approaching, or we'll know we need to approach them, and immediately we will generate those same minds we did in our meditation, and in this way we'll have the skill present in our mind to be able to deal with whatever circumstance comes our way in a skillful and a beneficial manner. And if we train in this way repeatedly over a sustained period, we'll become ever habituated to this new way of thinking, this mind of patience, and more skillful in sincerely and genuinely giving rise to minds such as compassion and wisdom in the face of adversity.
Bendigo kanga cheba in the shell pendo yobada. And it and chain yamnacheba kanga teba, Katsi kanga tevi, the thing yamnache pay up for a cheese and big kanga dilla, kanga masambache, channel roche, church, kanga lead, de kanga masambache, and jiang kanga yamnachi and be sometime. Garrison there, Bendigo sometime, Bendigo sometime, Suzuki, and Nikasuri, church, kanga cat, that shell pember to be. Kanga TV kabla sewa komyadi dinish dine gyumchen ro samdala da nga majena nga da gohab yedi nga zubu thangbo ye da gohab yedi ngi shen le ro che da an che nyamne che da maje baila nga ne da düse ane chige ne naza chunson wa da dine de jetu mar gohab ragi mares ha chi che nya ro chine che she ken yedi kabla da manyan baina jema che she me baina garan nyen go le chesanga ji che she nyamne che gohab ti short sares 제가 다들 강아 같이 요베네 니는 강아들 강아 마삼바체니 안취 강아 마삼바체 텔려 쇠제 강아도 심 맞추바체 아니야 니 냠네 지기세하다 시알로 로체 바다 되니네 안취 강아 마삼바체 텔려 심 맞추바체 안지알이야 안 펜베 강투도 지기세 삼다리 인디레 니게 안 녀셔가 고미야디 소리
Other ways that we experience problems, ways not through harmful speech and behavior from others, is when either when we are engaging in activities to bring benefit to others, then we do experience unwanted problems. Likewise, when engaging in practices relating to the Buddha Dharma, receiving teachings or meditating, then we do experience problems and obstacles. And these too are situations where we need to apply our training of patience. And the way then to cultivate the mind of patience, to meditate on patience with regard to these situations, is firstly we need to accept that when engaging in activities in life, unwanted situations occur. This is the reality of samsaric beings. So this happens no matter what we do. We encounter obstacles and problems. So when trying to be of benefit to others, or engaging in the Buddha Dharma, this would be no different. We will also experience problems. This is just part of life. So that is to be accepted. But these problems are temporary. These obstacles are temporary. Moreover, we have the ability to overcome these. And why do we have the ability to overcome these? Because we can reflect on the worthiness of the goals that we have set ourselves for. These goals of attaining liberation from suffering in its entirety. That certainly is a worthy enough goal to overcome temporary problems and setbacks. Likewise, whatever strength of this altruistic attitude of universal responsibility that we have given rise to, that too, the fulfillment of this wish, that too is a worthy enough goal to overcome whatever temporary problems we experience whilst trying to help others or practice the Buddha Dharma. And then this third way to think then, is that if I do not utilize these opportunities that I have now, these opportunities that I have created through creating the causes in the past myself, then I will lose this opportunity to practice the Buddha Dharma. I will lose the opportunity to be of benefit to beings in this instance. And this leads to a great loss for myself and for others. So thereby, through this wish to bring benefit to others, one is able to practice patience, overcoming the obstacles that we do encounter when trying to be of benefit in this world, when trying to cultivate the minds of the Buddha Dharma within ourselves. So we've looked at three of the practices of bodhisattvas, those of generosity, ethics, and patience. So we've understood these practices, we understood how to cultivate them. And in order to be able to cultivate them in a way of exceptional power, one requires the mind of joyous perseverance. This is the 20th verse. I pray I will apply myself to enthusiasm, achieving virtues unachieved, improving those attained, banishing utterly threefold debilitating laziness.
지난 레로디 안에 파 까바라 안에 메가 쇠하다 준주님이 지고 해서 레로 레로 근데 가비치나 마토 토바다 톱남 권역군도 배워알래 냠버지 집에 레로 넘버 숨시대 지상 기와 마토 토바를 지야바다 톱네 냠네진데 야 공부도 줘야라 게 바시 수지고 레로가 지고 해서 지난 레로들라 디니게 바시 지게 레로 넘버 숨요래서 시고다
the lelo number sum anki sum kennen det sum pe impe
근데 숨요래서 맞아
sum
레레네 진데 제시시야 말아
kennen die sum der sum pe impe
아디라이라 레로 넘버 냠버 제비기 권역군도 배워다 개와 토바 제발라 아니 레로 지고래서 디니 레로들 넘버 숨요래서
okay then it goes on where we are. I pray I will apply myself to enthusiasm, achieving virtues unachieved, improving those attained, banishing utterly threefold debilitating laziness. Achieving virtues unachieved. So here, the aspiration is being expressed in this prayer, that one may achieve virtues which come from the practices of generosity, of ethics, and of patience. May I achieve these. And the reason why they remain unachieved is due to my inner obstacle of laziness. So that's the first aspiration, where due to laziness, we haven't taken opportunities that we could have taken to accumulate virtue through ethics, through generosity, and through patience. And where we have done so, where we have the virtue that we have accumulated in the past, what is preventing us from continuing to do so, what led us to stopping or giving up, again, was this obstacle of laziness. So here the aspiration that is being expressed, where I have accumulated virtue in the past, may I do so again, but with ever greater endeavor. And where I haven't, or I don't usually take those opportunities, may I do so, may I do so with great joy. And in order to be able to do so, may I overcome the three types of laziness, threefold debilitating laziness. And the three types of laziness are those of the laziness of attachment to improper activities, the laziness of procrastination, and the laziness of discouragement. So I'll say those again. The laziness of attachment to improper activities, the laziness of procrastination, and the laziness of discouragement. So usually when we talk about laziness, it refers about not wanting to engage in activities. This laziness of procrastination, this is also one that's all too common. And this then is experienced in the context that we look here, in that it serves as an impediment to receiving teachings. These teachings are coming up, but I can rather go at a future date. One puts off this opportunity. Or where one has received teachings, one doesn't engage in the reflection on those teachings, the cultivation of that knowledge. Or if one does so in a very sporadic way. So here, this laziness or procrastination is this misplaced belief that tomorrow is another day, that these opportunities can be put off to another time.
얘네 자왕한 신일로 시도 땅한 주게 자와 충조하러 시 내가 충조하라 제제 아니 최제게 고급 예외나 최제의 진이 마디와제 아니 소소 어딘이 최제는 이 내가 나오러서 삼제 소소게 자와 충조할 내가로 시야다 내가 제제 최의 진이 마디비게 되라 아니 자왕한 신일로 야나 저게 어디린 참겸 로고도 삼제 다디 근데 최제야 고급 현다다 어디린 나 참겸 로고도 삼제 되는 참겸 로고도 되는 디리 안에 지게 공야다지 최슈야의 지미에 선비게 지리며 봤었는데 자왕의 충주질의 삼다체 하는 최지에 매발 내로 자송을 지리며 계속하러 아 지금 저기 주님의 제제를 직대마다 다된 제마다 된들이야 차체 되는게 디지하고 삼제 아주 냠는 제야다 교회 주연파 어데 지리며 차저로 되는게 되는 자 대수기 되라 하는 자왕한 신기를 하시고로 하다
The laziness of attachment to improper activities. So this has some crossover with procrastination, but it can also be quite separate. So this is where one, rather than engage in our spiritual development, one is drawn to and engages in other activities. So here we can understand improper activities being the opposite to the proper activities of spiritual development. So this could be where when one decides not to engage in a spiritual practice such as receiving teachings or reflecting on them, because of incorrect prioritizing, where one prioritizes this ordinary activity, where one prioritizes work of small importance rather than one's spiritual activity. So this is an illustration of the laziness of attachment to improper activities, where one prioritizes work of small importance over things of great importance. And this then can also be linked to that of procrastination through, for example, I won't attend this teaching, or I won't meditate this morning. Rather, I will have a good time first. I have an opportunity to go out with my friends. I'll do that now. I'll meditate later. So here, one chooses to engage in the activities of small importance rather than those of great importance. And this also has the procrastination of, I'll do it later. And then later you come home and you're a bit tired. So no meditation. So this other type, the laziness of attachment to improper activities. This then can be a standalone laziness or incorporate procrastination. Another expression of procrastination would be when one has the opportunity to help others, to engage in something of virtue, but thinking, oh, this is too much for me. I really don't have the energy. I will do it another time, or I'll give aspiration to being able to do such things in the future. And this, though, is still a laziness, and it's a laziness of procrastination.
나중에 제야 말하나 아니 제만을 해야서 내가 하고 차기래. 제가 나도 고급 하디 지긴 셈비게. 아니 저쪽이 되니 개와 두바이나 아니 개회 개줄 되게 개와 두바 디 제보디 아니 마음바나 내가 소설에 디기 용해야 돼. 개와 셴레 팬비게 자와 개와 두바이나 아니 젠리아 핑고 라라 핑고 라시니가 핑고 되네자 젠리아 핑비 겨주야다 소수기 최 답변은 자주 셈 검야 아니 딩이 좀 검야 검야디 사지 고방 토발라 되니게 검냐는 마셔본다 톱투야요 말 되니 냠는 제바 있는 사지 고방 토고 젠리아 판도 개치 무시 빼마서 야고래도 와 삼지 다 디링가 마셔본다 기디 지기리에 다 디링 고합여도 제고래 셈비기 될려 되니게 자와 제기 베네 되바 당도나지 전지 야고시우래 삼지 될려 삼다지 두 지긴 셈베 삼로디 전지서 되니게 삼로디 야네야 당고래 되니게 삼다바이나 되네 기루비 레로셔야 되다 자왕한시 레로디게 용말해서 그래.
The way to overcome the laziness of attachment to improper activities and the laziness of procrastination is through the training in joyous perseverance. So how then to do this? So this is to engage in in reflection on the great preciousness of this opportunity that one has, whether it's to receive teachings or to meditate on those teachings or to be of help to others in ways that are of great meaning. And so one needs to give rise to the preciousness of this opportunity, and then also be aware of its great rarity in this world, that these opportunities don't come about so frequently that we can pick and choose, and they will always come at the times of our greatest convenience. And moreover, by not taking this opportunity now to either engage in my daily meditation or to attend teachings, then I'm not creating the causes to, firstly, come across such conditions in the future. And secondly, I'm not creating the causes of virtue that lead to happiness. And without taking these opportunities whenever they come, embracing wholeheartedly with joy and delight these opportunities when they come, I end up losing the opportunities to accumulate virtue, the causes of lasting happiness. And without virtue, this heartfelt wish, this yearning to experience lasting happiness can never be achieved. The only way that one can fulfill these spiritual goals is through repeatedly over a sustained period, engaging in contemplation and meditation based on receiving teachings. This is the only way. So when these opportunities come, I must embrace these and not expect them to come about at more convenient times. They will only keep coming if I create the causes for them, if I create these causes through the accumulation of virtue, through a mind of delight.
당아 배 신기고 말 롭좀 매대 당아 교위 게지 검도서 말해 삼제 대검도 매바지야다 향샤래 펜버 주야다 호당아 교위 나래 변전에 매 나래 연대 게샤라 간수 로버치도 투자 말해 삼바나 로버치디 게 샤래 펜버게 진배다 진배 냠내 제야다 아니 데니기 제투사 말해 삼바나 디아 제디기 삼는 매바 제디 매바차디 디아 레로 지사 랭아 지식 말다 되네 장아 교부랭이 냠는디게 다와야고 지투사 말해서야다 네 샤래 최시에대 용사 말해 나 신고만 나 교부 인삼에 삼다와나 소수기 소소소마 교부슈 쇠체 소소라게 개회 자와디 제디 매바디 책으로 니 제디 매바디라 아니 다니엘 니비 레로서 소소소소기 라난기 소스리 균 다제네 바 윤 다제디네 개와디 지리 매바 자와와 제산 다니엘의 예비를 놓으시고
The third type of laziness, that of discouragement. So this relates to oneself. We don't have it in the English name. So the laziness of discouragement with regard to one's own ability. It's long, it's a bit clunky, but this is an important aspect in that this relates to how one perceives oneself, a mistaken way that one perceives oneself in the sense of one's own abilities, one's own actual abilities. Why this then is a laziness is that there is an exaggeration in terms of our faults or our inabilities, or an exaggeration in terms of our faults or our lack of ability. So this then serves to impede our ability to be of benefit to others. So this then would be expressed in a way of, I'm not worthy, I don't have the ability, who am I to do this? I do not have the sufficient knowledge to be able to teach the Dharma, or to give advice to others, or to engage in this cultivation of these practices. They are beyond my ability. So this comes from a mistaken way of seeing ourselves, where we deprecate our own abilities, seeing ourselves as less able than we are, seeing our qualities as either not existent or as weaker than they are, and exaggerating our faults. So it's discouragement that is misplaced on our own qualities. So this is what is meant by this laziness of discouragement. So then how do we utilize the practice of joyous perseverance, the cultivation of the mind of joyous perseverance, to overcome this type of laziness, the laziness of discouragement? So this starts out by trying to understand it with more clarity who we are in terms of our potential. When we think of the myriad beings that exist, how few are humans. Just in this world, there are a huge abundance of animals compared to the small number that are human. And when we look at the situation of humans in the world, and we reflect on our own individual situation, even just on a material level, we can count ourselves amongst the elite. We are very fortunate in this world. And amongst the humans who are materially fortunate, then we have met the Buddha Dharma. We have met the most capable of methods for transforming oneself. I have met this, and I have the ability. This makes me incredibly fortunate. And how can I say with certainty that I have the ability to transform my mind? Because how I am right now, no matter if I'm having a good day or a bad day, how I am right now is exactly how the being that became Buddha Shakyamuni once was. The being that became His Holiness once was. The being that became our most kind root teacher, he too was once in exactly the same mental state that I find myself in right now. So therefore, I am in exactly the same position as these great and holy beings once were too. And look how they turned out. They, from this state, this very ordinary state, they managed to transform themselves through training their mind independent on these self-same teachings that I have been receiving. They did so through continuing, trying repeatedly over a sustained period in training their minds. So they've done it. They are living proof of this. I can too. So therefore, this topic that I'm receiving teachings on that seems so difficult, I can come to understand this and understand this well. Moreover, trying to meditate on this topic, which is difficult because my mind is undisciplined and it's going all over the show, and if I keep trying, I know my meditation will go better because I have examples who have done this. And moreover, even if my meditation is going better, but then in my daily life I keep responding in the same old way, through the inspiration of these examples, I can become just like them through continuing to train my mind in the way that they are training me in, or they are teaching me in. So in this way, I know I can eventually come to change my way of responding to my environment, my outer environment, my inner environment. I have this ability. So in this way, we can change our way of thinking and overcome this laziness of discouragement. So we'll finish here and continue then this afternoon. Thank you.